think this might be the night where it was supposed to get down to -2 because it's really getting cold. Um, I didn't expect that it was already going to get dark. After I ate, I took my antibiotics, and it gave me some really bad heartburn, so I laid down. I didn't really sleep. Kind of started to fall asleep a couple times, but didn't actually sleep, so not much time had passed. But man, it got really cold. I noticed it was starting to get dark, so I figured better get on this fire. Because I was laying down, I wasn't burning any of the wood that I got. I got lots of wood to burn still. Touched up my shelter a little bit more. Pulled everything back, out of the. I won't be sticking out the end of the shelter. I still gotta just adjust the ground mat, but it should be good for tonight. It better be. Getting down to -2, I'll tell you that. Alright, I gotta go. Well, not much time has passed. You can see it's gotten extremely dark out. The temperature's dropping real quick, but I got the fire going well, and I still have, quite a bit of wood. So hopefully my shelter will hold up. I don't know if you can even see that with just my headlamp shining in there. But so this is going to be a cold one. I just hope I got everything ready. I hope I'm ready for it. I'll probably check back in once I get settled in my sleeping bag. Alright, I'm going to make this the end of day 3, because I only got about 3 more logs to throw in there, and I'll probably just throw them in and get in my sleeping bag. So I guess a couple little tricks that I'm going to do. One, I took the water from my little bush pot and I poured it into this little rubber collapsible water bottle, which is kind of flexible except for the cap. So I can stick that in my pocket in my sleeping bag with me, and I got a little drink, without getting out of my sleeping bag, which is nice. I'll tell you, that thing is great for, going inside your jacket in a pocket or something, because you don't have to, it's not hard. It's soft, it's flexible. As long as you got the cap on tight, you don't have to worry about it leaking. I'm also using this really heavy wool jacket that Paul gave me. Well, that he didn't give me, but he's letting me use it. It's like 85% wool. It's really heavy. So I'm using that as like a blanket over top of my sleeping bag at night, which is probably going to come in real handy tonight. I'm kind of debating, like I always take my snow pants off before I get in the sleeping bag, but I don't know. Some people say it's better to take off the layers so that your body heat can get out and heat up the inside of the sleeping bag better. I don't know if I'm willing to try that tonight, because this is probably going to be the coldest night that I've been here. So I'm not really up for experimenting. But yeah, I might just keep my jacket close by though in case it does get too cold. Oh, I'm in bed. Uh, very scared getting into the sleeping bag. Climbing into your bed at your house, you know, especially when it's cold out. Like when it's pouring rain, you gotta get your stuff off, stay either warm or dry depending on if it's snowing or raining. Get into your sleep system before you get soaked or too cold. I've pretty much used up all the firewood. Oh, there you go, now you can see. That's the view from my shelter. Um, I used up all the real logs, threw them on, and went to bed. I got this pile over here of, stuff I was delivering, but I'll save that for morning breakfast time. Since I didn't get my corned beef hash for dinner, there's cold to bother cooking. I'm just gonna go to bed. It's kind of funny though. Like I moved my sleeping mat a little bit, and it's got an R value of 6, so it's pretty insulative, but it still melts the snow under it. So now, like where I've been sleeping the past 2 nights, my sleeping bag keeps kind of sliding into that little rut. I keep trying to pull myself back out like an inch, kind of like, you know, scooping up. Uh, I'll talk to you in the morning. Hey guys, last night was brutal, and it really was. See that gap back behind my shelter? It got really windy, and that cold air was just pouring right in there. Um, it had to be below 5 degrees Fahrenheit. Had to be. So when I got up this morning, I just waited till the wind died down. I figured once the sun really kind of cracked out, um, I think I figured the wind should hopefully die. So I waited and waited, and then I got out because the wind did eventually die. I kept hoping Paul would show up with my phone so I could see the time and at least and be able to record with that as well. But yeah, I didn't even record first thing in the morning because I was too cold. My batteries were, dead. I had to recharge them because they died overnight just from the cold. I was too cold to bother doing that right away. I needed to get that fire going, warm up my feet, my hands. Uh, that was cold. Plus, my abscess was bothering me all night. What else? I think I'm gonna redo my shelter again. Yeah, I do. This is no good. But I found another Y branch. See that Y branch there? I think I can use that as like a second one of these that I got my ridge line tied off to. I'm gonna have to go down to the stream and get some water again. I wanted my corned beef and hash for breakfast, but I'm gonna make it for lunch because it's definitely past breakfast time, judging by how high the sun is, and still no Paul. Alright, well, I'll catch up with you guys when I'm starting my lunch. So, I'm here next to the edge of the pond, and I'm gonna grab this big one, like, meaning like that, and then if you look up this little skinny one, it's just, the top's broken off, so that's not gonna, it's not dead yet, it soon will be, but that's not too much to cut through. This one over here might be dead too, I'm not sure. Well, that's a gnarly looking sucker. It's not hemlock. God, I'm so sick of burning hemlock. I don't know, this one might still be alive. There's some pickers over there. I've been trying to avoid getting too close to the pond because I don't know where the real edge is, you know. I don't want to fall in there. Right, let me get to work on this. Okay, so here's my master plan. I'm going to take my shelter and basically sling it right over here. This is a nice flat area. Lots of room. I had to dig out a stone, but I think I'll be able to also have it close to the fire. It'll be blocked from the wind from the pond. It'll be blocked from the day winds that come from this way on occasion. I think that should work very well. This one, a lot of energy expended. I could be sitting down, eating. I really need the protein from that corned beef hash. Feeling drained. And I could also be bucking up more firewood. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like 5-inch, 6-inch logs that I cut up, but they go quick. I definitely am gonna have to do is, I guess it started over this way, so it kind of went like that. So that might be noon actually. Anyway, I'm gonna get to work. I'll film some of me doing the shelter if I can. Depends on how much battery and storage space I got left. I gotta make this last too. Hello. So, I'm on my way back to my campsite. I got about a mile and a half, 2 miles to walk. And I just got done walking that mile. Got a little crazy because I had a lot to do at camp, and Paul had my cell phone. I didn't know what time it was. I needed something from my car. I had no way to contact him to say grab this on your way in or ask him when he was coming in, because I didn't plan on him grabbing my cell phone and taking off for 3 days. Hold on. Let me catch my breath. So, kind of ironic, the second I get to my car, Paul's neighbor is there. Like, oh hey, I got some stuff for you. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. Paul had actually paid him $20 to walk in and drop this stuff off, but it wouldn't have really made a difference because
he can't get in my car and didn't know what I needed from my car, so it didn't matter. So I saved him a lot of walking. And now the problem is, it's 3 o'clock. It's going to get dark in an hour. It's probably going to take me 45 minutes to get walking to get back to my camp. And hopefully nobody's taking any of our stuff. Like I said, I had to leave everything. I stoked the fire up so it would look like we, maybe, oh, they just went on a day hike. But you never know, you know. So hopefully everything's still there. Says I have 50 minutes left of record time. So this definitely won't be a long walk for you because I can't record it. Not that I would make you watch me walk for 45 minutes anyway, but sometimes it feels good to know you're with me. So if you guys got any thoughts, leave it in the comment section. You see I've rearranged my shelter twice. I think I got it figured out. I think this should really be good, provided I could set it up in the dark, because it will be dark by the time I get to actually, start working on it. Just because I got a couple little chores to do around camp. But let me know what you think. Bye. I had to show you guys this. I saw this on my hike out. The way the snow landed on it looks like a giant toadstool mushroom. I'm still hiking. I don't know if I mentioned this is a ski trail, so it's pretty packed down for people skiing on it. But on my way out, I was pretty frantic because there are so many forks going out. That was my first time leaving. And when I came in, I was with Paul and I was kind of just blindly following him. I figured he'd be with me. So I didn't plan on hiking out until our little adventure was done. So I had to grab my map, grab my compass. I did my best. And luckily, I ran into a couple skiers who were able to confirm I was going the right way. That's always nice. But at one point there, I think I definitely would have taken a wrong turn if it wasn't for their advice. So I'm glad I came upon them. But this goes to show you how easily, a regular camping trip can turn into a survival situation. You take a wrong turn, get turned around, you don't trust your compass, you don't trust your map, whatever. Well, you could easily get stuck out here. I at least brought my headlamp because I thought, I might be out here past dark, hiking in. But I think I'll be there before dark. It would have been, I wanted to bring my knife, but I had nothing to strap it onto, and no pockets big enough to hold it. It's kind of a large K-bar. So, I mean, not for a K-bar, but it's a large knife. At least if I had my knife, I'd have a chance of surviving the night. Without that, though, I wouldn't survive out here. But remember, always be prepared. Be careful.
a strong back. I hate hiking. But I love this shelter, which needs to go here. So I've got work to do. Doesn't look like I have much sunlight left. Maybe a half hour. Woo! I'll catch up with you.
Hey guys, look at my crappy fire. Alright, that light is blinding, so I can't really look at the camera, but at 8 o'clock, Paul said he'd actually come in. Night 4. No, Paul. It's like 11:30. Like he said he was on his way at 8. So what I did was, instead of waiting to burn my firewood, I was like, oh, well, I'll have somebody to help me gather firewood at night. I can hold the lantern. We'll have 2 headlamps. It'll be freaking simple. Yeah. So after I did my shelter, I didn't gather any firewood. I just tried to keep the fire going until he got here. And he's not here. Very disappointing. I mean, I'm basically in survival mode. No firewood for the day because I was too busy. I did get sweet shelter set up, though. I mean, that's going to be a lot better. Because the front is like, it looks like you would think the front is more open. But it's really not. Because, alright, so this is about almost, sternum height. And that side is obviously down to the ground. Well, the other one was like that high. Probably about 2 to 3 feet max. So if you even that out, it's about the same size opening. But, so even if air can get in there, it doesn't have a way to like blow through. You know what I mean? So I think that should keep me a lot warmer, because I don't know. We'll just see. We'll have to see. It's a crapshoot. It's going to be, I don't know, 2 degrees tonight, 1 degree, something like that, Fahrenheit. So yeah, it could get pretty cold. Well, it's going to get, it already is pretty cold. It's already 3 degrees. So who knows how low it's going to be by 4 a.m. But it's supposed to get down to -4 here in the next couple days. So we'll definitely have some cold temperatures. Oh, my crappy fire is finally actually burning on its own. I've been working at this for hours. I didn't have time to harvest the right size of woods, so it was basically, I had logs, and I planned on going and grabbing some small stuff, but I never had the chance to, because I had to run to my car, and then I had to get back here and quick build my shelter, because fire doesn't really matter when you have your shelter, because you're going to get in your sleeping bag, right? Or your sleep system, which means you're going to take off your winter clothes, which means you're not going to get out of them to go feed the fire. So the fire is really not that important at night. The only thing that matters is that. Where are you sleeping? And is that going to keep you alive? One of the reasons Paul said he left the first night was because, like, he got here at, he first hiked me in, right? He showed me where to go. And then he didn't even set up his stuff. He left. Came back at midnight, stayed till like 6 or 7 a.m. and bounced. Said he couldn't sleep. So, yeah, I mean, that was pretty much it. He hasn't been back since. So, yeah, it just goes to show. I mean, tents are, I think it's like a safety thing, comfort, but I think a tarp is more insulating, holds more heat.
I just wanted to clear this up before somebody jumps down my throat about it. When I said a fire is not important, I didn't mean like at all, especially not in cold conditions. A fire is life, can be life. All I simply meant was in this particular situation where I'm using, a ripstop nylon sleeping bag that if a coal or an ash hits it, it's going to melt a hole in it. A sleeping mat, same thing. It actually had a hole in it that whole week from my last camping trip. I didn't even realize had put a little hole in it. So one alternative is to do what you see here. I have a really good sleep system, a really good insulative shelter. I'm insulated from the ground. If you got all that going for you, you can make it, without a fire all night. On the other hand, if you don't have time to get that shelter set up, you have to go about things a lot differently. Now it's fire time. You got to get a big fire going. You got to get a lot of firewood, and you have to huddle as close to that fire as possible. Now, if you're fortunate enough to have like all wool gear instead of like modern equipment that can be damaged by sparks, and you can get your whole shelter and everything up close to that fire, even better. So I was just talking about my situation and you know the materials and stuff that I was working with. To me, the fire, um, I know is if I got to be 10 feet away from it, I can't be throwing logs at it from 10 feet away. So, and I'm damn sure not getting out of my sleeping bag with my socks on and my skivvies and running over there to add a little log to a fire for almost no reward. But I say it all the time. That's one of the things I love about that oilcloth tarp that I use is that unlike a tent, you can get it right up next to the fire. And as long as my sleeping bag and sleeping mat are 10 feet away, I'm good.
Okay, I'm getting ready for bed, night 4. Got my little lantern here. Um, I took off my winter jacket and I put on um, the wool jacket that Paul loaned me. And I'm gonna try doing something a little different tonight. Normally I wear my winter jacket in my sleeping bag, which is something I've never actually done before. But tonight I'm actually going to use just the wool jacket because this wool jacket weighs like 8-9 pounds, and I heard that when down is compressed, it doesn't give you enough insulation value. So I think by not having the wool over top of the down, it might be quite a bit warmer for me, especially if I'm actually still underneath the wool. It's just inside the sleeping bag with me. So it's a little experiment. Tonight is still going to be cold, so it's a pretty good comparison. I think it's going to be colder than last night. I'm not sure. What was last night? I don't know, 0, -3, something like that. But we'll figure it out. It's definitely going to get even worse coming up. We got -4 temperatures. So yeah, should be fun. All by myself. No help. There's a lot of firewood to gather to stay warm. So, good night. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Before I go to bed, I wanted to show you guys this because I had somebody comment about it in one of my last videos. all the frost on the inside of my tarp. I don't need to sleep under the stars because I got a whole galaxy right here. Look at all that. Hey, look, is that the Milky Way? Oh no, that's just where I've been breathing. All right. I'll talk to you guys in the morning. Have fun.